Bulletcast for life.
Get up! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind, look deep into the hate in my eyes. We are the elite, and you are the weak. No matter how hard I fall, I'll get back up on my feet. Red alert, this is gonna hurt.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone Messiah, Phillip Brandon, joined by the Canadian Destroyer, BT Brandon Tanguma. We are here to recap the week that was in pro wrestling. A lot has happened. More matches have been made official for SummerSlam. Saturday night's main event is this week. BT, what's going on, man?
Hello, guys. Here to talk the wrestling. Got a Saturday night's main event coming up. Big day. It's a huge day on Saturday. Some might even call it a federal holiday. So this will be my last podcast as a 31-year-old.
Oh, there you go.
Because I'm old.
Yep. Saturday, you and Mandy Rose.
Yep, and Al Snow and Vin Diesel. And
Wow.
Nelson Mandela, not alive. Alive or dead?
Nelson Mandela's not alive.
Okay, 2013. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, man.
He would have been 108.
Shout out to Nelson Mandela, man. President of South Af. Yeah, man, let's get into it. Sheamus has confirmed his departure from World Wrestling Entertainment. He put out banger after banger. Read the whole text message, or not the text, but the tweet. It's banger after banger multiple times. Salute and farewell to WWE, man. So can't wait to see where Sheamus ends up. We really went deep dive on that last week. MJF is taking time off of TV.
Yeah, he dropped the title to Kenny Omega. Reports are that it was kind of his idea to push the time frame up from Redemption up to the television last week. I talked about it on the recap, saying that maybe they're just going to go right into a rematch. No, they're going to go in a different direction. We'll talk about that in the Dynamite recap, but it seems like
they did the whole, you can never challenge for the title again type deal. Is Cody the one guy that actually lost that stipulation?
well, there's another guy. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
All right.
That happened this year. How soon people forget.
Huh?
But yeah, I mean, MJF gone for the quote unquote foreseeable future, but it seems as though he will be at All In. Now, what does that mean? I don't know, but it was just
Dude, how long they've been doing All In since? When was the first AEW All In? Was
that would be 3 years ago. No, 4 years ago, because they did 2 back-to-back in Wembley, and then they did the one last year in Houston or in Texas, Dallas, and then this year we'll be back in Wembley.
Okay, so 22, 23, 24. What about 25?
That would be last year in Dallas, Texas.
So then what about 24?
That was the Danielson Swerve second year.
Was that in Wembley? So then 2023 is the first one.
Sure. Yes, that's how math works.
Yeah, bro. I just saw a clip from that. It was like Big Show knocking out Satnam Singh, and I was just like, when the hell did it? It just so much things happen in wrestling and things just go by, man. You see some crap like, when the hell did this happen? This was 3 years ago. What? Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy that AEW is so old now at this point that we can look back and just be like, you remember when this happened, or this match happened, or this moment happened, and I'm like,
even some of the talent that used to be on there, you're like, oh yeah.
I've seen every single Dynamite. There's stuff I do not remember, for better or for worse.
There were acts from AEW. What happened to Anthony Ogogo? What happened to that guy?
I mean, Cody stopped racism and unified the country and unified the world, so there's no reason for Anthony Ogogo to wrestle anymore, I guess.
I do remember that. They did the whole weigh-in thing. It wasn't Daly's play. Yeah. Yeah. Keith Lee is believed to be retired from wrestling. That sucks, man. I think his last match was in 2022, which is crazy. That's when the Swerve in My Glory, right? That was right after.
Let's see. Let's look at the old cage match.
I remember that. The Swerve in My Glory. I remember that a little bit. They were tag champs, yeah.
Last match Keith Lee had was he beat Brian Cage on an episode of Collision on December 23rd in 2023.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean the whole Keith Lee thing, it's been very like mysterious and kind of hush hush. Obviously, it seems as though there's some sort of health reason for him to be gone. And he seems to be healthy, quote unquote, but whether he's healthy enough to wrestle or just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. Looks as though Keith Lee, unfortunately, is calling it a quits in wrestling, or at least AEW or something of that nature. Brian Alvarez reported that. So, I mean, it sucks. He's one of those kind of what if guys, kind of just in general in wrestling. He was so hot and he had like such a different look to him, but it just didn't pan out for whatever reason.
Yeah, man. I mean, a man his size to be able to do the things that he can do was always astronomical. I mean, the matches that he was having with Dijak on the Indies, and then they took it to NXT, great stuff. He, he had a match with this is the one. This might be the one time Gunther did an indie out here in the Bay Area. It was against Keith Lee at an APW, and I hate that I missed that. Like good stuff, man. And then like this, I don't know. It could be the same mysterious illness or a different one from when he was the Bearcat and he was off TV and people kept like complaining like they don't know what to do with him, blah blah blah, this and that. That he came out and said like, no, I was off TV because I had an ailment that needed to be taken care of. So yeah, man. And then he did the double champion thing and the North American champion, NXT champion. That was a great time, man. If he's truly done, Keith Lee put on some awesome matches that I've loved watching as a lot of us have, and yeah, I mean, I just keep thinking back to that Survivor Series when he was like it was him and Roman Reigns were the last ones, and when he got that near fall on Roman, they were like, oh, and then of course the Brock's like selling like his presence at the 2020 Royal Rumble, just a lot of stuff, man. That what if, man. Hopefully he's happy and healthy, man. That's all that really matters. Buddy Matthews is cleared.
Yeah, he had the that ankle injury back, I think last year in Australia, and he's been gone for quite some time. But it seems as though he's cleared to compete. Wondering where he'll fold because last time he was gone, last time he was there, he was kind of I think at that point Aleister Black, Malachi Black was gone from the company, but he was still kind of loosely paired with Brody King. But obviously Brody King's kind of done his own thing with Bandito, and we'll see what happens with Matthews, but one of those really good wrestlers in AEW hasn't really found a lane personality wise, or kind of in his own character. But we'll see what happens. And speaking of that family, Rhea Ripley has some kind of negative injury news where she was at the slap. What's it called?
Power slap.
Power slap. We'll talk about that after this, but. Rhea Ripley at the Power Slap event, and she was kind of, I don't know, interviewed, but she was interviewed by someone, and she kind of gave her first real update on her injury. That's been a little bit of a mystery, and she revealed that she has a torn meniscus. Not good, but she's still the WWE champion, and she says she can't really bend her knee, but it's healing. I mean, SummerSlam's less than 3 weeks away. So we'll see what happens on that front. I would not be shocked if they kind of like strip her of the title and they go down a different route and then she comes back in a couple months. Because I mean, torn meniscus is no joke. That's like a serious injury, and I'm kind of shocked they haven't really announced anything yet.
Yeah. I mean, T's and P's Rhea Ripley. I mean, I got some knee problems right now. I can only imagine a torn meniscus. You can't bend it. Oh. Wait, she doesn't wear knee pads when she wrestles, huh?
Now she wears the boots, stockings, no knee pads.
I mean, I don't know if that played a factor in it. I mean, obviously she could have just moved a certain way, and whether you're wearing knee pads or not, or knee brace, etc. It was bound to probably happen. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure more precaution will be taken whenever she comes back. I mean, you see, like,
Bionic mommy loading.
yeah. I mean, you're like, I mean, take your pick. I mean, Charlotte's rocking the knee brace now. Victoria rocked it for really her whole career. Yeah, man. Knee injuries are no joke. Yeah. Jake Hager got knocked out.
Yep, yes, he did. I mean, Power Slap on say what you will about it. It creates highlights when things like this happened, and when it's a big name like Jake Hager, it definitely made. I don't know if it made the rounds in the sports world, but it definitely made the rounds in the wrestling world.
Man, I mean, big Connor made the rounds of the sports world this past weekend. If you want to talk about it, but yeah, man. I mean, Jake Hager got schlepped, dude. Jesus. Met brother briefly in Vegas. The big power slap that weekend too. very chill. Quick hello.
Hey, friend of the podcast, maybe in remembrance, we should do the sound drop.
Yes, man. Yes, yes. We should. It'll. I won't play it right now, but it'll be somewhere in here. In this episode, it could be at the beginning, could be right after this, it could be at the very end. You don't know.
Maybe we just forget and don't put it in at all.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some drops for some hitters, man.
Obviously, my boy Zack Sabre Jr. Love that one.
Yeah, the roller coaster gave us two. Two former world champions have given us drops. How do we feel?
Look at that. I think did Mickey James do one?
Three. Yeah, Mickey James did do one. She gave us a video one.
There you
There
go.
you go. X Pac Hall of Famer gave us one. Come on now. Come on now. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man.
We're about that life. We got some motion.
Hey, man. We're really living in that motion. But yeah, no, Jake Hager, man. Hopefully he recovers. Yeah, Power Slap is no joke, man. I mean, guys are icing their faces. They're doing whatever they got to do to numb the pain. Like this is some serious ish.
Yeah, my boy Connor tore his knee in 5 seconds, and
That's
I may have bet $20 because I was getting built into. I already knew he was going to lose regardless, but I was like, screw it.
did you knew and you
I knew, and I still was an idiot, and because he was an
it's not
underdog.
2017 anymore, bro.
He was an underdog. You never know. Maybe he just takes one lucky punch and he sleeps him, and it would have been an electric moment. But it
Survivor
didn't
Series
happen.
is in
Yeah.
Houston this year. War Games on November 28th. Yeah, it's going down, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, those cheaters of the Houston Astros are, rewarded with a Survivor Series. I
Whoa,
think the
whoa,
question,
whoa, 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 whoa. What are the Astros? You hate the Astros? How do you feel about the Blue Jays then?
Blue Jays are cool. I like the Blue Jays. I know they're Canadian,
Whoa,
but I
whoa.
know
You
they're
know
the
where the
Canadian team, but the Blue Jays are cool. Dylan Cease is my man crush currently. Shout out Dylan Cease, absolutely carved up the National League. Shout out American League, 3-hit shutout, and that's your MLB All Star Game talk for the Bulletcast. But I think there was talks about will Survivor Series continue to be war games, or will they just kind of go back to Survivor Series, maybe tag matches? But no, they're sticking with the war games as much as
dude, can
we've.
I at least get like one? Can we at least get one? They don't do that many matches on here anyway. You can and we
I
don't
mean,
and like so like this I'm gonna say this right now. Whichever story we don't need both men's and women's. It's not the Rumble, it's not the Money in the Bank or King or Queen of the Ring. Whichever storyline at the time regards the war games, that's when you do it. Like
I mean, I could
one of these,
obviously the bloodline is always going to be there, but they are building something kind of on SmackDown with the women. I could see that be a.
yeah, I felt there was one year where I felt like the women kind of needed it more than the men, but they did both anyway, and I was just, or it was vice versa, something like that. Where like one basically, I I don't remember which genders it was, but like the beef between like the males or the women, it needed the cage more than the other beef that was going on. Yeah, man. Give me a teams of five, strive to stay alive. Let's do it. Remember, like let's go back to the essence of a Survivor Series. I mean, it was like four teams back then, but eventually we got the teams of five, strive to stay alive. I mean, like how many are in the vision? Theory, Reed, when he comes back, Logan, bro, that's four guys. We can even do a traditional four elimination. Those guys are going up against like Tazawa, Otis, and like somebody else. I mean, just something, man. Just let's change it up. Let's get title matches, big title matches back on Survivor Series, man.
Yeah, I mean it's a far cry from 1918 where we had pretty much a gimmick pay-per-view for every single one, and I think
1918, huh?
I mean what War Game or we had Survivor Series, we had Hell in a Cell, we had whatever like Extreme Rules. I'm trying to think Elimination Chamber. I mean Elimination Chamber is still kind of there. I know that's kind of like the February thing, but yeah, War Games. It's lost its luster a little bit. I think last year was kind of the tipping point of like, okay, I think we're just continuing to do this because it's a thing. And I was hoping maybe they put it on ice for a year or two, but nope, they're milking that cow. As much as that cow may be dry and its udders are hurting, they're still tugging at it. But yeah, I mean, like Philip said, I don't know what exactly they're going to be doing for. Let's be honest, guys. It's just going to be another Bloodline War Games match. It happens every year.
There was one year it didn't happen.
It happens every year.
There was one year it didn't happen.
Well,
It was the year CM Punk came back in Chicago, 2023.
I didn't watch that one live. Unfortunately, I was a little mad that I wasn't watching live and CM Punk came back.
Where were you at?
I was because it was like it was in Thanksgiving. Well, I think it was Thanksgiving weekend, so I was up at the parents' house and was just I was gonna watch it after the fact, after it was live, and then I opened Twitter unknowingly and I was like, oh, well, one of the biggest moments in wrestling history the last like 10 years. I guess I just missed it.
Yeah, what were you doing eating like your third day of leftovers?
Yeah, and then here comes Philip talk about the Thanksgiving leftover sandwich.
No, it's July. Why would I do that? It's not.
Okay, yeah, it's not November exactly. We gotta do the
That's
bits
in
when it's
November.
timely.
SmackDown happened. Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk is official for SummerSlam. CM Punk went out there. He kind of like talked about how deals were happening, and I was kind of wishy washy, blah blah blah. Not wishy washy, but like,
He even has the black eye like Hogan at WrestleMania 9, brother.
yeah, that's dude. You know what? So during the CM Punk Sammy match, Punk hit that knee, and then he waved his hand and did the Hogan, bro. Like it was almost as if like I know what the internet's going to say, so let me lean into it right now. Very cute of Punk with that. But yeah, no, it just talks about how it all came to be, and Cody Rhodes comes out there to congratulate him, and Punk hits him with the "So what do you want to talk about?" And so people are like, "Why is Cody getting the match?" Cody earned a number one contendership. He unfortunately didn't get it on the date that it was, so you he it's still owed to him. And then Cody, when he was the champ, he was always like, "Hey, just say when, and then we can do it." And then kind of Punk is like the same thing: "Say when, we can make it happen." And then Cody said SummerSlam, and here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a solid kind of back and forth between them, very, straightforward. It's two baby faces with respect for one another, which is different than the two baby faces, quote unquote, that are going over on Raw. So I didn't have much of an issue with it. I don't know how much they're gonna like heat this up to make it like a heated rivalry. Not like that. If you know, you know. Um, Philip, what you know about heated rivalry?
What is up?
It's some like I think it's an HBO show. It's like two gay hockey players. Yeah. Anyways, um, you know, they, we got like 3 weeks for them to build something. Maybe people talk about a possible CM Punk heel turn. I'm not saying it's gonna happen right now, but maybe they kind of lean towards that direction to maybe make people kind of cheer Cody more than CM
Dude,
Punk.
I need Cody to just turn heel and yeah, smoking beer. Just bring it back. Come on, let's do it.
Grow mustache.
I didn't say them. I didn't say that.
No, I like the mustache.
But,
Hey, mustaches are in right now.
just mustaches.
I mean, he can bring the mask back if he wants.
I mean, look, when some people have just a mustache, they look like a pedophile or a racist cop. I'm gonna just say it,
I think Cody had a little of the racist cop element to it because he kind of had like that thick kind of Super Troopers mustache.
bro. I remember the shirt, bro. It was the mustache with the comb. I said,
It was
"Oh,
just a gray shirt with the black ink on it. It was very basic, but you remembered it.
I wonder how many of those sold." Talk about random WWE merch. If anybody knows any connections to a Y2 AJ shirt, let me get that. But yeah, Punk and Rhodes is official for SummerSlam, and then Gunther goes up to Nick Aldis. He's like, "You need to make this right. You need to make this right." And they both go out to the ring, and Nick Aldis is like, "You can have Punk and Cody at Saturday night's main event because you're going to team up with Sami Zayn to fight them." And then Gunther's pissed. He goes and he attacked Nick Aldis. Hey, Nick Aldis was bumping like a motherfucker though. He attacked Nick Aldis. He chokes him out. Cody comes out to put out an exclusive of Gunther scurrying away while the American Nightmare's out there. We're getting Aldis versus Gunther. This is where we're at, and I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely happening at SummerSlam. I think they're doing a good job. Aldis, I don't know if he's the most sympathetic figure. I think there was a moment there where Adam Pearce was kind of getting bullied, I think, by Gunther, and we kind of thought maybe he would come out of retirement and face him. But Nick Aldis is getting the call.
Do you remember when, speaking of Adam Pearce, you remember when they put out that graphic of him versus Roman Reigns and then they switched it? And I was like, I kind of wanted to see that.
I mean, I think Adam Pearce, there's definitely a place for him to return and do something. Because, like, right now, he's not exactly like the sympathetic, like, stressed out GM like he was, I think, like a year or two ago, where he was like, oh, this guy's just trying to survive, and all these rascals are just giving him unnecessary stress. He just kind of, I think, got on the flow of traffic, but I think they're doing a good job they're almost like doing too strong of heat on Gunther and Aldis, and maybe that's what's going to kind of
Back up.
turn the tide, and Aldis is going to be like, you know what, I wish they like explain. I know this might be a little too much to ask of like why Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are like when they joined WWE, like they were still pretty much active wrestlers, and then they just decided to not be wrestlers. They just wanted to be GMs instead.
I mean, that's the role that they had for them.
And I think couldn't they just say that? Just be like, or maybe Nick Aldis
It
will.
says it itself.
I mean,
I
I'm
got
not really.
hired by WWE. They didn't have a slot for me to be a talent here. We will make you the general manager of one of the shows.
Maybe Nick Aldis will say that. He'll be like, I used to be a wrestler. I used to be an NWA champion.
I think what they'll do, bro, like they'll make it like they'll take away his general managership for like the night so he can be a wrestler. They signed him to a wrestler's contract for one night, and it's for SummerSlam.
Legally, how does that work? Who books this match? Does Nick Aldis book the match?
I think
Does
you know what you do? Temporarily, you give power to both shows to Adam Pearce.
and Adam Pearce gives him a little wink and a nod. And he's like, you know what? I got you, Nick. I know we've had our differences, but you can have this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Jimmy Uso defeats Royce Keys. I didn't love that he just beat him with a spear.
I mean, yeah, matches like this kind of you expect maybe a bad finish or some sort of distraction, but Jimmy
A
just
clean finish.
yeah, Jimmy just beat him, and Jimmy's not exactly the highest man of the totem pole. He's what like he's fourth on the bloodline.
Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Do you not listen to his theme song? He was born a king, bro.
Sorry. I mean, they're all kings, but if if we're all ranking them,
King Himmos. I didn't say I was ranking. These are not the views of the Bullet Cast as a whole. These are the views of Brandon Tanguma.
well, obviously, if we're going like where they're sitting at the table,
Bro,
Roman's the head,
we'll talk. Oh,
and I would say that you know Jacob and Jay are right next to Roman, and then Jimmy, unfortunately, is 2 seats down.
you may want to stay away, man, just in case, man. Yeah. Oh God,
Stay away from the family.
I can't protect you, man.
Sorry, Jimmy. But hey, he beat our boy Royce Keys. Like you said, it's interesting to see where they see him, but you gotta give Jimmy a win every now and then because he can't just be the whipping boy and just can't lose all these matches. So you
Bro,
know,
give my. Remember when Big Jim was like in the chase for the U.S. title? I kind of wanted him to win that. I kind of needed that. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the U.S. title, man, Trick Williams was gifted a fur United States Championship. I did notice one thing. They added blue behind the stars. Whenever Trick loses the title and they go back to the regular one, keep the blue behind the stars. It just gives it more color and it differentiates it a little bit more from the woman's one.
they're gonna have to take that thing to the dry cleaner every single week because that thing gonna smell all that fur and the sweat
You
and
just get
and
it.
the baby oil.
You just get it taken
Get
care, dry cleaned where he gets his fur clothes. Yeah.
get steamed.
But yeah, Trick and Mello are going at it, and then Mello's he hit the first 48. He's going up top for nothing but net, and somebody grabs him, and it's Baron Corbin. The Nomad, as you saw on his shirt. Baron Corbin is back. Hit the end of days on Carmelo, took it like a champ. Hit the end of days on Trick Daddy, and then he got that fur title and he threw it on the champ. Listen, man, I love Baron Corbin. I need my guy to be done. Listen to me. Listen to me. I need my guy to be done right. I need my guy to win one of these world championships. I mean everything that he did. Everything. My guy retired Kurt Angle. All the whole constable thing, everything. I mean, like at one point in time, he was the most hated man of the company when he hit that end of days on Becky Lynch. Like, damn, this guy's a real piece of shit. Should have put the title on him. I'm gonna need that to happen this go around. Yeah.
Positives. At least Baron Corbin didn't come back as Danhausen's monster, as people maybe speculated. So that's a positive.
Like I like Baron Corbin, I know he got a lot of like go away heat and all that BS, but really look at it, man. Bum Corbin was hilarious. He made it work. He did the best he could with Happy Corbin, Constable Corbin, King Corbin, all of it.
He
And
was
the
on. They were onto something in NXT with him and Braun Breaker, which I don't think they're going to revisit that, but it
dude,
was something.
that you know what? That extra time that Braun spent down at NXT with Baron Corbin helped him so much, man. It really did. The War Dogs for NXT Tag Champs, man. I know Braun's supposed to be the main event of WrestleMania for years to come, but hey, man, a little interaction from the former War Dogs, I wouldn't be mad at it. Uh, yeah, then like his original NXT character, when he the lone wolf and he was having the squash matches and people were counting along to see how long the matches would last, and then the simple like you guys worked the indies for 5, 10 years and all the bingo halls and etc. I got a phone call. That's why I'm here. We're not the same. Like if we can go back to some of that, man, like we're gonna be on to something. He was very well on the mic and like he was a sneaky good in the ring, bro. There were certain things that that guy did um that you're like, damn, man, like the end of days obviously is a great move. The deep six is another one, and then when they would whip him out, he'd slide underneath the rope and then slide back into clothesline him, the misdirection clothesline. That's good stuff, man. I'm excited for Baron Corbin to be back, man. I really am. You any more thoughts on BC?
No, I mean, I think he's a suitable mid card guy, and
No,
I
do
know.
it, do it,
Philip wants to strap a rocket to him.
do it. There are far worse who have held the heavyweight championship of the world. Far worse. Do it. Just see. Let's just see. Jade Cargill injures Alexa Bliss's arm.
I mean, shout out to Alexa Bliss. She's selling the hell out of this thing. She's doing videos with her arm in a sling or in a brace. Despite her doing this exact same angle about 3 or 4 times in the past.
You know
But
what? Honestly, I forgot about it. And then, she was gone for so long, or whatever, that you do forget. I forgot she's double jointed or whatever. But yeah, man. It's the thing that they kind of need to give Jade a little more, you know?
yeah, and they've been teasing they teased a little bit more of the Alexa Charlotte distress a couple weeks ago. So maybe Alexa's gonna feel some type of way that Charlotte didn't send her, you know, a bouquet of flowers or something from her hospital bed or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it gives
I need to go back.
put some heat
I
on
need
Jade.
I need to go back to 5 Feet of Fury Bliss when she was. Remember when she was just beating people with a DDT, bro?
Oh,
Do you remember?
brother, I remember 5 Feet of Fear, Alexa Bliss, respectfully.
I mean, the promo work was excellent, and man, I heard somebody say this, man. Like, if you watch wrestling, sometimes turn it off, and if you can still feel that, like, turn off the not turn it off. I mean, turn off the sound, mute it, and if you can still get that emotion from which by watching it with the sound off as with it on, then there's something about whatever you're watching that it generates that moment, man. There were times this is probably why I didn't get a degree, man. Going to Chabot, I'd be watching what happened on Raw or something. Alexa Bliss would come on. I have to mute the promo, but I still feel the emotion through the screen, man. That's what Alexa Bliss. That's what Alexa Bliss. She has it, man. Let's bring back 5 Feet of Fury, give her back that DDT, and have her win one of these damn world championships. I'm advocating for people the rest of 2026. This is what needs to happen.
Hey, I will get behind the Alexa Bliss bandwagon. I've been riding that bandwagon for years.
All right, Hangman Page returns to
Respectfully, of course. Hey, Alexa Bliss, NXT Alexa Bliss, right up there with 2001 Trish Stratus. I'll say it. In 2001, Trish Stratus, the goat.
'05 Trish Stratus was something else. She was the heel Trish Stratus.
I mean, TNA Trish Stratus.
That's in the game, bro. That's one of the on the season pass. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Hangman Page returns. How do you feel?
Yeah, it was a very weird situation. So he came back in Roanoke, Virginia, his home state, on Collision on Saturday, which not only went against a World Cup match, the Conor McGregor fight. I think there was something else that was going on, but just such stiff competition on a Saturday where you didn't advertise it at all. I think they said this for the first time on Friday that he was going to do this. Just a weird kind of, I think, business decision to make Adam Page's first like appearance since losing the title or since losing at Revolution, not being able to challenge for the championship ever again because he did the Cody thing, and he cut a promo. It was just he was very soft spoken. He was just kind of matter of the fact. He didn't really say anything really. He just kind of talked about what he's been doing. He's kind of been dealing with, I think, some sort of like cervical thing. I don't. He said some big fancy words. I don't understand exactly what it means.
Miracle.
Spherical. Shout out Drake and Josh. But he talked about planting seeds and how he might not be able to go after the world championship, but he's going to go after all the other championships, which kind of like shines a spotlight on how many championships AEW has and how diluted it is. To where if you had like just two championships, it would make the world championship so much better. But no, they have like four other titles, and that Hangman Page can go after.
All right, hold on. They have the national, the international, the TNT,
Continental.
continental.
Yeah. There's too many titles, and it just showcases that the world championship should mean a lot. And like it does, but it'd mean a lot more if there was only like if there was the top title, you can have your quote unquote mid card TNT title, and then maybe some sort of like gimmick title to where it like a hardcore title or something to where different a pure title where it differentiates so much from everything else that it makes sense why it's its own division. But
But I'm not even that, bro. They have like the Ring of Honor titles too. Like there's like 12 other
and there's
championships.
CMLL titles that get thrown in there, New Japan titles.
There are 35 other titles this man can go get.
Uh, you can technically, I know if you win it, you go after the regular championship, but Mercedes Moné is carried around that Owen Hart title. Luckily, Will Ospreay is not, but Mercedes is.
Yeah.
Just a weird kind of business decision all around to put Hangman on television on 2 days' notice with really no fanfare at all. So
Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling Mayhem is set to debut on the AEW streaming services My AEW beginning July 16th in over 100 countries. That's tomorrow.
yeah,
Or today.
I mean,
As we record.
interesting that that they're doing this. I do have my AEW since I got the VPN. I can watch all the pay-per-views for
How much does that cost?
so I paid like 120 for the entire year,
Of
and
My AEW?
yeah, 120 for the whole year, but you get all the pay-per-views and all the pay-per-view. If a pay-per-view is like, I think it's $40 on HBO, or it's $50. So I mean, you're
So you do, but do you have problems like watching it back? Like, say you want to watch back a pay per view.
no, I mean, I didn't watch the well, I didn't technically watch Forbidden Door because I was there live, but honestly, usually I don't watch the pay-per-views live that much just because I have work. But and I usually I just watch it once and I don't watch it again. But I've had no real issues with it, to be honest.
All right, I'm gonna have to look into that. The VPN to My AEW, man. I'm gonna have to look into these things. Seth Rollins stomps Roman Reigns on Raw. Let's talk about this promo segment first of all. That boy Roman Reigns cooked this man. He said, "What if you do beat me? You're gonna hold it for a couple months and get injured again?" I was like, "Oh, this is where we're going." He's cause bro, like I just recently watched back the you remember the Vegas press conference that led to WrestleMania 40?
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, I mean Roman was calling him number two back then. Uh like I mean he just went after him, man. And then, Steph said, all that stuff you're saying to me, you think I haven't said it to myself? I have. And then he just got fed up, and then he punched him, started hitting him. Roman hit a Superman punch. He got hit with a pedigree and a stomp. Yeah.
It was the segment was something. There was two guys still talking about the past, just kind of like burying each other back and forth, and I think it's very similar to what they did with the Punk Roman thing. And I think this is just kind of what they do when they're in their bag of kind of two faces or like two stars. They just kind of lean back on the shoot work type of promos, which I like. I'm kind of over at this point where I think they just kind of rely on it too much. I wish it was just, we were friends for such a long time. You stabbed me in the back. I can't get over that. I'm gonna take what means the most to you, and that's that championship, and whatever. But they have to kind of go down this whole, oh my God, you're like you get injured all the time and you suck and all this other like all
He
this
told
BS.
him, "You know how I know you're number two? You still, after all these years, have to use Money in the Bank to win a championship." I said, "Damn." And then faked an injury, so he had to use the thing. I said, "Oh." I just because growing up, like you're roasting each other, like, oh, dang, he said that. That's what these work shoot promos are. That's who they're built for.
And how many times did John Cena do these types of things and it made the other person much better? Awesome Theory. I mean, we had a fucking Joe Hendry reference about it last week.
It doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't work for everybody. That was really to see if Theory could. He was being presented as this big guy.
I mean, hell, John Cena did to Roman Reigns at that whatever Vengeance or whatever LA
No
pay-per-view they had
mercy,
years ago.
no mercy, 2017, bro. I think about that promo a lot, bro. That boy John Cena's. This is 2017. This is prime big dog. He's been champion like three times already. This is just John Cena. I mean, this is like really when the part time and started happening. That boy said, "I do this better part time than you ever could full time." Like that just that lives rent free in my mind, bro. That boy said, "I'm still here because you can't do your job." I said,
And that was 2017. The boy still had 2.5, 3 years till he finally found something.
"Yeah." I mean, what did then when they ran back at SummerSlam 2021? What did John say? You're a you're a 10-year investment that finally got successful in like year 7 or something. I'm like, damn, just yeah. But that was kind of like the era that we moved into, with the Punk really started it off with the pipe bomb. Like we just started getting into those work shoot reality style promos. I mean, and it if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
I mean, but is it working?
Yeah.
Is
Did
it
you not
fixing?
hear the people?
Yeah, but it's like they get the visceral, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. But how much is it actually drawn? Like,
I mean,
let's be honest. Like, let's look at the SummerSlam tickets, and I know it's
that's
bigger
week.
than
We got a couple more weeks. We'll see.
that's it's a the SummerSlam tickets is a bigger issue than just the build and the matches and everything.
These SummerSlam tickets aren't moving. That's yeah.
And they need to go back to one night. I think they're like too money hungry, and they saw what WrestleMania did. SummerSlam's not WrestleMania, and I think also Minnesota is a little butthurt that they were promised a WrestleMania and they haven't got one, and they're probably not going to get one.
But they're getting. You know what they are getting? Brock Lesnar and Obafemi Hell in the Cell. That's what they're getting. Yeah, man. There was a no contact clause between uh Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. There's restraining orders involved. Paul Heyman got a restraining order on Brock Lesnar. It's a lot going on. Obafemi just attacks all the police officers, and he tells them, "I'm sick of your running. I'm sick of your hiding. I'm sick of you being a bitch. You're going to, you can't." Or what did he say? You can't run from Obafemi. He said all his names and then Obafemi at the end. Yeah.
Is Obafemi going to face any charges for assaulting all these police officers?
Where were
And they were in
they?
Texas, by the way. Texas don't play around about that stuff.
Texas has a stand your ground, bro.
I'm surprised they didn't have them things on them. It's almost like maybe they weren't real police officers. Maybe like they were indie wrestlers or something. Nah, nah, nah. They said police across their chest. They had to be real.
Yeah, yeah. Dallas. We'll see what happens with
They're
that.
too busy dealing with the World Cup. They're not. They can't deal with Obafemi right now.
Right. Jacob Fatu and the Usos are going to go up against Royce Keys, Solo Sikoa, and LA Knight at SummerSlam. Jimmy and Royce Keys show up during the commercial break, and then their match just starts happening. What you call it? Solo comes out there to tell Jacob, like, "Hey, don't do that to him. I understand now. I should have been standing by my family. Blood is thicker than water." He throws up the one. Jimmy throws it up two. Jake throws it up. Jimmy's hella excited. Then that boy gets hit with the spike. Yeah. And then LA Knight comes out there for the save, and this is the match we're getting at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. what to make of it. Maybe you could say Fatu and like Jay and LA Knight could be doing something quote unquote better than this, but it's perfectly fine. I still wonder where Solo kind of lies in all this, but he's been going so much after the Usos that maybe he's not going to join up with the Bloodline after all, and he shouldn't after all the stuff he's done with them right now. But family, and we can put all that stuff behind us. You just got to acknowledge your tribal chief and all that other good fun stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yep, that's all it takes. But still wishing that Royce Keys would be a little more of a featured act. And God bless him. He said in an interview that this WWE run's going better than he expected. I don't know what he must have some pretty low expectations, but happy that the band's happy.
Right. I mean, did he have anything at WrestleMania? No, right?
No, he showed up at the Royal Rumble, went MIA, and then showed up on SmackDown once they finally made it to San Jose.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
SmackDown in Oakland coming up next week.
It is. It is. You're gonna be there?
I will not be there
Why not?
because I'm working and I don't really care to watch the show.
That's crazy.
I know.
Our guy is the WWE champion.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen our boy. That I saw that title reign right there, right before it ended against old Dwayne.
But no, I mean, but this is the gold undisputed title. This is different.
Well, it's hard to be an undisputed champion when there's another world champion on the other show.
He's the undisputed WWE champion. It's different.
I, I can see Baron Corbin in the flesh.
Come on now. Come on now. Penta versus Chad Gable's been made official for SummerSlam. They're doing. See,
They listened.
I told you, you can't mess this up. You can't mess this up. Have my guy win this thing. He won the gauntlet. Have him win the IC title. I love it. The Vision beat down Alpha Academy. Not Baron Corbin. What's his name? Braun Breaker. My guy challenged for the world title earlier this year. Now he's a tag team champion, feuding with Otis and Tozawa.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, I like look Maxine being in the Vision. They basically kind of are doing the Mandy Rose storyline. I think. Shout out Mandy Rose. I hear her birthday's coming up. Like somebody else I know. Yeah. What you call it? They're kind of doing that same thing again. I was like, okay, all right, it was a while ago, sure. Maxine faked the kiss, so he gets taken down. Yeah, I mean, so we're gonna get the Vision versus them at SummerSlam. I see. Maxine being in the Vision, I do like it. If just let's give it some time to really see what they can do with that.
Yeah, and then they did the backstage segment where Paul Heyman kind of put them all over, and then he just said, "Oh yeah, Maxine's got it," and then just kind of walked off. So I don't know if that's him rinsing his hands of
You
the
know what's gonna
Vision,
happen?
or he just
They're
kind of
gonna
comes back after Brock Lesnar's done.
they're gonna start to gain traction. They're gonna start to get motion, and I think they're gonna be like, we're good, Paul. I think they're gonna throw it back on him.
But then what's Paul going to do? Then he's going to go back to his like doesn't sleep, doesn't shave, red eye look, which is always a good Paul Heyman look.
He's gonna go back to his tribal chief.
Maybe, but
Questionable
he chose
stance.
Seth over his tribal chief.
Yeah, yeah, it's questionable stance. Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. Judgment Day attack Io Sky.
Trouble, that's me.
It's really, it's
I
really.
feel like this we
She was at the ESPYS tonight. Shout out, Liv.
good for her. I feel like we have this Judgment Day attacks Io Sky segment like every week.
Sol Ruka came out there, but you know that didn't work out.
She's young, she'll learn. She'll
Right,
figure it out.
right. Lyra Valkyrie and Bailey segment. How do you feel about this?
I mean, I enjoy it. I do like a non-championship women's feud, and they're telling I don't really know what they're telling. They're telling something of Lyra. I don't know what the look Lyra's going for. She's almost kind of like
The Nikki.
she's almost like the like kind of the homeless girl, down the street of maybe she did a couple substances, but she still looks good. Respectfully, of course.
I saw somebody say like this is Nikki Cross's little sister. I was like, all right.
Um, Sasha or Mercedes posted some sort of like time, some sand clock thing, like right when the segment was going on. I'm not saying there's any rumors or anything coherent
Brother,
that Bailey's leaving, but I feel like she does this all the time. But if Bailey does lose at SummerSlam, the speculation will run wild.
Have Bailey be the Rena champion down in AAA. Yeah, I say we just do that. Nah, man. Or what if is the clock running out for Mercedes?
Well, I don't know why she would tweet that at like, 9 o'clock on a Monday.
That's she knows people are paying attention. Last thing we're gonna talk about from Monday Night Raw, the Big Cass video package played soft.
Yeah. And it's at 8/3, which is the day after SummerSlam. I mean, we talked about it, speculation, basically confirmed it. I would not be shocked if we kind of get an Enzo one later, or if it's just Big Cass and then Enzo kind of debuts with him. Are they a tag team? Is it just kind of Big Cass and Enzo's his manager? Who knows? But clearly, what we've been waiting for or thinking is going to happen, they confirmed it.
Yeah. All right, AEW.
Yeah, AEW, the post beach break episode. I thought it was an okay episode. It was kind of, it's hard to kind of top the high that last week was, but just kind of catching their breath and kind of they've established in their advertising, announcing a lot of matches for Redemption coming up next week. Cope and Cage took on the Death Riders for the tag team titles. They won. Dogs and Bang Bang Gang come up afterwards. They get a big old brawl. So we're probably going to get either a big old mixed match, tag match at Redemption, or another tag title match with Cope and Cage. But we'll see. We had the Kenny Omega Championship celebration. Young Bucks came out with him. Will Ospreay came out, interrupted. They had a little talking about the Wembley match. Then Kevin Knight showed up, and I thought that maybe they were just going to run it back with MJF. No, it will be Kevin Knight and Kenny Omega for the world title. It's one of those matches. It's like should be a really good match, but we all know what the finish is going to be. Kenny Omega is probably going to win, just like how they're going to have a TNT title match next week with Kevin Knight and Darby Allin. Maybe Darby gets the win to take the title off Kevin Knight to make it a little bit more believable that he wins against Omega, but I kind of doubt that. Another one that they announced for Redemption: Kyle Fletcher against Bandito for the Continental Champ, or no, the International Championship, right? I think so. I don't know. There's too many titles, but once again, should be an absolutely fantastic match between Bandito and Kyle Fletcher. But there's kind of no doubt that Kyle Fletcher is going to win that. Phillip's going to love this one. Chris Jericho announced that the Painmaker is coming back at Redemption, so we're going to get Chris Jericho, the Painmaker, taking on Tommaso Ciampa. I don't know if it's going to be kind of a gimmick match, probably after the street fight they had at a beach break, but we're getting Jericho's running back all the bits now, and he's going with the Painmaker comeback. They did some like interviews throughout the show with Kenny Omega and Kevin Knight and blah blah blah. Just just solid basic stuff and fun interaction, or a interesting interaction, I thought, with Death at John Moxley and Kenny Omega. So just kind of sprinkling that seed once again, just kind of keeping John Moxley hanging around the title picture with Will Ospreay right next to him. And then the main event, kind of unfortunately, I'd say a weak main event, just kind of a trios match of Divine Dominion and Mercedes Moné taking on Willow, Maya World, and Hyon. Not that, none of obviously all six of these women are talented, but it was just kind of a kind of collision type match, and they didn't really advertise it or build it up or anything. It was just kind of like, yeah, here's the match. They wrestled for like 10, 15 minutes, and Mercedes pinned Hyon for the win. Yeah, so it's just kind of like a strange main event, just kind of something that you wouldn't expect, I think, on a Dynamite. But, it is what it is. They are doing Willow and Tekla next week at Redemption. So I don't know if they're doing Tekla and Mercedes, or maybe they just take the title off Willow, or put the title on Willow for Willow and Mercedes, which I think is heat-wise a better story, but I do think Tekla, quote unquote, should be rewarded with a Wembley match against Mercedes. I think she's been doing good work this year. And that's your Dynamite recap.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
All the shows can't be bangers. It was a fine episode, I would say, maybe on the lower end of shows recently, but AEW, I feel as though has been doing some pretty good work recently. So just because it wasn't a great show doesn't mean it was a bad show.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it was just like I said, a lot of kind of table setting for Redemption. and kind of recapping what happened last week at Beach Break. So kind of one of those in between shows of nothing happened because everything happened. Everything's going to happen last week or next week.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Saturday night's main event is going down. One, two, three, four matches on this thing. Women's tag team championship match is happening. Paige and Brie Bella defend against Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley and Laney Reed. I got you know what? New tag champs. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, Paige and Brie have kind of had their moment from WrestleMania. They're not exactly lighting the world on fire. Not saying Fatal Influence is either, but put the title on them, give them a
Man, that
little.
first night, I don't know. Hold on now.
I mean, late, yeah, they. Anyways, I think you just put it on Fatal Influence, let them win, and kind of put it on like a true tag team, and then they can kind of build them up, and maybe everyone has gold eventually by the end of the year.
All right. Danhausen versus JD McDonough in a no disqualification match. I got Danhausen.
Yeah, Danhausen's gonna win. It's an MSG, so the crowd's gonna be hot for him. He was teasing that he had a special guest or a partner or something. Not Jalen Brunson, I guess, because Jalen Brunson's gonna do something with Roman Reigns at MSG. But
Yeah, Jalen
maybe,
Brunson's gonna acknowledge our OTC.
yeah, maybe it's another New York Nick. Maybe it's Josh Hart or Carl Anthony Towns or
Zack
somebody,
Ryder.
or Zack Ryder.
Remember he was doing the stuff with him on SmackDown.
Well, it's not Zack Ryder anymore. It's always ready Matt Cardona.
Well, no, but remember, like he was doing the stuff like made Miz like do something
Miz
for
said woo
Chris Pat.
woo.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, Matt. Yeah, Matt said woo woo woo. Yeah, like exactly, man. Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, one of the two. Lyra Valkyria versus Bailey. Oh yeah, let's see.
I mean, it's a fun kind of undercard match. I think both of them. I don't want to say they're motivated, but I think if given the time, it could be pretty good. Um, I think you have Lyra win because I'm just kind of thinking if you have eventually Io Sky win, you're gonna need heels to go up against her, and I think you want to build up Lyra for post SummerSlam.
Yeah, no, they cooked in that Queen of the Ring match, so yeah, why not? Yeah, Lyra Valkyria. All right, then the main events. You have Sami Zayn and Gunther going up against Cody Rhodes and the current undisputed WWE champion CM Punk. I think Sami and Gunther win.
Yeah, maybe some dissension between Cody and Punk, and that kind of leads to them being a little more personal going into SummerSlam.
Ascension or Ascension? Since we're bringing back old tag teams from the 2010s, let's bring back the Ascension.
Never forget the Ascension at the WrestleMania 31 access. The saddest thing ever. Just nobody was in line, and I walked up to them just to get my autograph, and they tried to talk to me. And I'm not the most social person in the world, so it's on me a little bit, but it was just it was a rough time.
Bird, you've been talking to me for 10 years.
Well, that's what people at work say. I'm very sociable. I'm like very. I try to be funny guy at work, and everyone's gonna. But then they see me when I'm not talking to anyone. They just say I'm all like awkward and weird. And I'm like, yeah, that's just usually how I am. You just need me to open up. It takes 10 years, but I'll finally talk to you.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Sorry, we got a little too serious here at the Bulletcast.
All right.
Bulletcast After Dark therapy sessions.
After dark.
I mean,
But
we
yeah.
did get some After Dark thoughts with 2001 Trish Stratus being the absolute goat.
Okay, yes, I have Sami Zayn and Gunther beating Cody and Punk.
Oh yeah, that too. I think Cody and Gunther. No, that's not a team. Gunther and Sammy are gonna win.
Right. All right, then the same day, but if you're in the Bay Area, come pull up. Remember, Oasis Pro is no longer streaming their shows live, but they will be released at a later date. I believe that Hella Independence is coming out on the 17th. But no, the 18th, we are right here. We are here for it all. It is going down. You don't want to miss it. Andrew Cass versus Cash Cartier versus Bolo Silva versus Lita J versus Keyshawn Calloway. What else do we have? The Pacific Seas champion Shima defends against SOS. You also have California Classics versus Masangre. JC Westerfield going up against Antonio Rivers. Unfortunately, the mob has an announcement, so we'll have to see about that. And then, of course, your main event. If you think Bloodline's feuding on WWE TV, it's going on here too, man. You have the dark side consisting of the Samoan Reapers, Zeke Taylor and Damu Onawai, the Silverback, going up against the VIP, Yosefa Parisi, and the Odyssey of Death Journey Fatu, man. SPS and dark side going at it, man. Nobody wins when a family feuds.
Everyone said like, "Oh my God, there's so many people on WWE." There's more. The
There's
bloodline is forever.
there's more. The Bloodline was at Stockton Con. I hope everybody had a great time over there. Yeah. Yeah. All right, that is going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back to recap all this stuff. Thank you so much. As always, be safe and stay dangerous. Yeah.